Hello guys, my name is James B. Pineda from Bisami 12, and for today's topic is we're going to discuss the Lesson 5 entitled Communication in Multicultural Context in the Purposive Communication. What is communication in multicultural context? The multicultural communication concentration focuses on the dynamics of communication across cultures. It explores not only what happens when people of two different cultures meet, but also what happens when people from a variety of cultures and ethnicities come together in one organization, community, or country. With the emergence of global society, the academic and professional environments have become multicultural. That means you coexist with the people from diverse or different cultural backgrounds, beliefs, religion, gender, nationalities, religion, and ethnicity. Your verbal communication is always accompanied by nonverbal cues such as gestures, facial expressions, and other body movements that add to what you are saying in different ways. For example, it is very normal for Americans to shake hands as a form of greetings but not for the Japanese who bow when they are greet each other. Another is nodding to mean yes in some nationalities like Indians and Latin Americans, but in other countries like Syria, Turkey, and Greece, nodding means no. Indeed, when you communicate in multicultural contexts, it is essential for you to learn, acknowledge, and understand the various communication and behavioral patterns present in other cultures, locally and globally. The developmental model of cultural sensitivity. According to Bennett, 2004, the developmental model of intercultural sensitivity or DMIS has 6 stages which are follows. Number 1 is denial. The individual does not recognize cultural differences. Stage 2, the individual starts to recognize cultural differences and is intimidated by them. Stage 3, minimization. Although the individual sees cultural differences, he/she banks more on the university of ideas than cultural differences. Stage 4 is acceptance. The individuals begins to appreciate important cultural differences in behaviors and eventually in values. Stage 5, adoption. The individual becomes very open to the worldviews when accepting new perspective. Stage 6, integration. The individual starts to go beyond his/her own culture and sees himself, herself, and his/her action based on multifarious cultural viewpoints. Once you have understood these stages, you may utilize a model which will help you. For 1, recognize different communication and behaviors. 2, take into account what can influence this type of behaviors. And 3, analyze differences between linguistic and cultural communities. Next one is the intercultural communication skills. When you interact, negotiate, or convey information in a multicultural settings, you apply your intercultural communication skills. Simply put, intercultural communication is the sending and receiving of information, ideas, or messages across languages and cultures. Booth Keeley, Prothrow, and MacDonald 2001 of the Center for Intercultural Learning released a publication entitled Profile of the Interculturally Effective Person. And there are some general guidelines for communicating in multicultural context. Number 1 is avoid asking inappropriate person questions. Avoid stereotyping and generalizing certain groups. Keep an open mind and flexible. Avoid using jargons, cliches, highfalutin terms, technical terms, acronyms, and gender-biased language. Be sensitive, polite, tactful, and respectful at all times, particularly in relation to cultural practices, attitudes, and beliefs. Learn and understand the value of diversity. Make positive interpretation of the action and words of other people. Use words that are free from gender prejudice and unfair assumptions. Word must not influence the audience in any particular or unfamiliar direction. And that's all guys. I hope you learned something in our discussion. Goodbye!